Now we are going to see the confidence interval for parameter mu. Here our data or sample is x1, x2 up to xn, a random sample from function fx mu, where mu is the parameter of the distribution. Now how can we find out the confidence interval? Here let's suppose probability t1 less than mu less than t2. We need the interval for mean mu, population parameter mu, that is equal to 1 minus alpha, where alpha is the probability of critical region, and therefore for confidence interval have 100 1 minus alpha %. That is, suppose probability of t1 less than mu less than t2, if your alpha level of significance is 5%, then probability of confidence interval is 95%. Or if your level of significance alpha is 1%, then confidence interval at 99% we can calculate. So where here T1 and T2 are the lower confidence boundary or lower confidence limit, and T2 is the upper confidence limit. So here upper limit minus lower limit gives you length of confidence interval. Confidence interval, in short CI. Now how to find out confidence interval for particularly parameter mu? When population variance is known, when we know the population variance, that is sigma is known. Now as before I said that the probability of critical region is alpha, okay, but here before that our null hypothesis we can mention for two-tailed test. When sigma square is known. Here we take only two-tailed test, okay. So here z will become x bar minus mu upon sigma by root n, which follows normal 0 1, Now we need the value of T1 and T2 for confidence interval. We start with the probability of critical region, that is mod z, if it is greater than or equal to z alpha by 2. Here we take alpha by 2 because we have two-tailed test. Z alpha by 2, and this probability, this is the critical region, and probability of critical region is alpha. But we need confidence interval. So we need 1 minus alpha. When we make alpha into 1 minus alpha, this greater than sign will become less than sign. We subtract the term from 1, okay. So 1 minus probability z is equal to 1 minus alpha. When we do 1 minus this probability, it will become probability of mod z less than z alpha by 2 is equal to 1 minus alpha, correct. Now when we have z, this z alpha by 2 is the tabulated value, okay, and this z is our formula. So we put the formula here. Probability x minus mu upon sigma by root n less or equal to z alpha by 2 is equal to 1 minus alpha. So here sigma by root n is the constant term, therefore we can take sigma is positive, n is positive, and therefore we can easily take this denominator out of the mod. Okay, so it will become probability x minus mu less or equal to, when it is in divided in other side it will become multiplied to z alpha by 2. So z alpha by 2 multiplied by sigma by root n. The other side is as it is. Now what we do, for some steps we will take this z alpha by 2 into sigma by root n as t, just to simplify the equation. Okay, so we will take this term as t and work on that. Now we will have probability of x minus mu less or equal to t is equal to 1 minus alpha. We need the value mu, limit for mu, therefore we take mu in the middle term and on the other side and t in equation with x, and we take out this mod. So when we take out this mod, we have two values, positive and negative. Okay, when we have mod, it means there are two values but we consider only positive value. But now when we remove this mod sign, we will have two values, that is positive and negative. Therefore x bar minus t and mu will in on the other side. So mu, here we have less than sign, therefore when we take mod it will become like this, x bar plus t. Other side is same, 1 minus alpha. Now we know the value of sigma. Sigma is known here. Therefore, instead of t, now we find out the limit for mu. Just put the value of t here. Probability of x bar minus z alpha by 2 sigma upon root n less or equal to mu less or equal to x bar minus z alpha by 2 sigma by root n. These are the limits, confidence interval for the parameter mu. So its lower limit is x bar minus z alpha by 2 into sigma by root n. Upper limit is x bar plus z alpha by 2 sigma by root n. Here we use z alpha by 2 because of two-tailed test. Correct? And so in short we can write down limits as simply we can note down the limits as x bar plus minus z alpha by 2 sigma by root n. Okay, and its confidence interval, length of confidence interval we can calculate by upper limit minus lower limit. What? Upper limit minus lower limit. So it will become upper limit minus lower limit, x will get cancelled, and here we have 2 times z alpha by 2 sigma by root n. So if z is, suppose alpha is 5%, alpha is 5%, so we'll have here z 0.025, okay, and on 0.025 or for z alpha by 2, the limit is 1.96. Suppose here for alpha is equal to 5% or we have 0.05. So what are the limit? Confidence interval for mu is x bar minus the value for z value for 5% level of significance is z alpha by 2 value is 1.96. For 2 tail test it is 1.96, correct? So we can simply write down x bar, the value of x bar we know from the example. Z value is z alpha by 2 is 1.96. Then sigma is known again from the example, and value we can know. The other limit is x bar plus 1.96 sigma by root n. Okay, and if the value is alpha is 1% or 0.01, the value for z alpha by 2 is 2.58. So the interval will become x bar minus 2.58 into sigma by root n, and upper limit will become x bar plus 2.58 into sigma by root n. Put the value of x bar and sigma and n, you will get the upper limit and lower limit. Please remember that lower limit is always less than upper limit. Okay, so here we say that this is what 99% confidence interval. When you are asked for 99% confidence interval, take the value of alpha as 1%. When you have said for ask for 95% confidence interval, take the value of alpha as 5%. Okay. When you are asked for 95% confidence interval, take the value of alpha as 5%, and when it is asked for 99%, take the value of alpha as 1%. Here easily we can calculate the confidence interval for parameter mu. In finding confidence interval for mu for one tail test, we need to take the value of z alpha at alpha level of significance. Okay, so in confidence interval for its x bar minus z alpha sigma by root n less than mu less than x bar minus plus z alpha sigma by root n. This is the 1 minus alpha percent confidence interval. Okay, so suppose our we need to calculate the confidence interval at 95% level of significance. It means what? The value of alpha is 5%. So we know z alpha for one tail test at 5% level of significance or for 95% confidence interval, it is 1.64. Okay, so easily the confidence interval we can calculate that x bar minus the value of z alpha is 1.64 sigma by root n, and upper limit is x bar plus 1.64 into sigma by root n. So here after putting the value of x bar, sigma and n, we calculate upper limit and lower limit or confidence interval at 95% confidence interval. Okay, for 99% confidence interval at 99%, it means alpha value is 1%. What is the value of alpha? Is 1%. So at 1%, Z for one tail test, you must see the Z for one tail test, it is 2.33. Okay, so confidence interval is x bar minus 2.33 into sigma by root n, and upper limit is x bar plus 2.33 into sigma by root n. In this way, we can easily calculate for one tail test and two tail test the confidence interval for mean mu.